Well, hello everyone. TheOntarioGardener here, back with another PlateUp update spaghetti automation guide. This is a beast of a setup here, to be honest with you guys. And this is to make the cheesy spaghetti. We had the bolognese, we had the straight tomato sauce. This is the cheesy bolognese. Basically, you're making a white sauce. You're adding cheese to that. However, you're not adding cheese to the sauce. Now, this is where I have a problem with this part. So like you're making a white sauce, right? So you have flour, butter, which makes a roux, then you add milk, which kind of makes your base, and then you typically would add cheese to the pot and mix it and then add it to your spaghetti. But this is, you're adding it afterwards, like you're adding it as like a topping, but it's part of the dish. I'm going to try to explain it with my mouse first before we turn it on. This down here, if you've seen some of my other automations, you get this. This is my spaghetti rig. This is using the mod from Milo, Ice Milo. It's called like spaghetti dumping or water dumping, because if not, you can't automate this unless you use that mod, because that mod basically allows you to, with the combiner, to empty a pot of water, after you put the spaghetti in it in the sink. If not, you can't do this because you can't automate it with the bins like this. So just preface that. So get that mod if you want to try to do this. It's not going to work. But anyway, this is my spaghetti rig. Basically goes, cycles around. The spaghetti and water go in, cycles, it cooks, cycles, empties, cycles back around, and then portions. It's basically how this kind of runs. Not too hard really. And then here we have our cheese rig, and then we're having everything being combined onto these plates. And unfortunately, you can't combine each of these things onto themselves. Like you have the spaghetti, you have the cheese, and you have the white sauce. You can't combine them onto each other. They have to be combined on a plate. Like you can't have one going into the other. I guess I'm trying to say they have to combine like this. But this is still fine because you have a gap here. And again, you don't actually need the auto plate thing here. You could just manually put a plate here. But, it makes sense. And over here, okay, so here's the white sauce. Basically, the white sauce is flour with butter mixed with milk, and then combined with milk. It's then mixed, cycles around, cooked, and then you add more milk to it and you combine it again, and that makes your white sauce, which is just insane of a recipe, honestly, because I've made white sauce for homemade spaghetti and homemade like macaroni and cheese, and you don't add milk and then you cook it and mix it and then you add more milk. But I mean, it's a crazy recipe. But we're going to start this up, and I'll let you kind of see how it goes, and then I'll just kind of, I'll make pointers. So you have the cheese going down. The cheese is going to get plated right away. Simple. You have the spaghetti going in. Okay, here we have the milk with the butter. It's going to be mixed the first time, right? Okay, mixing first time. After the butter and flour are cooked, coming back here is doing nothing, right? You then add more milk, and then you mix it again, and that then makes your white sauce with 2 portions. So it's kind of crazy how it works. I will just pull this out so it shows another one. So I want the other white sauce to be used. Hopefully you can use it here. So watch this one work, right? So you combine the butter and the flour and you cook it, right? Then you add the milk and then you mix it one time, right? And then you cycle it again. Just let it cycle again, and then you add more milk, and then you mix it. But you don't cook it a second time. So it's just insane how it works. The spaghetti rig is just a spaghetti rig. The white sauce, they all have 2. Like the tomato sauce, you don't have an amount, but the bolognese, the spaghetti, and the white sauce all have 2 portions. I mean, you'd think they'd have more portions, but I mean, this is a dish, like the spaghetti update, it's supposed to be harder. Like people wanted harder dishes, and this is harder because of how much is involved. But as you can see here, you can just grab like this, and then, as soon as they go around, it'll say CW when it's ready, because it's basically cheese and W is the white sauce. And then, cheese will always go in there, and then you have the W. Now, you can pick it up just with the white sauce on it, but it's not going to do anything. Now, if you do pick it up prematurely, if you have this kind of rig, you can't really do anything about it because it'll push the next plate in. But if not, you can pick it up, put it back down, it'll fill in whatever it needs to. And then, we're at our last plate here. I'm just going to take this up here. It doesn't matter. And there you go. So it's a pretty hefty automation. Now, can you make this smaller? Yeah, I don't know. You could get away with one combiner for everything, but it's going to have to cycle 3 times. That's why I'm using 2 combiners. Because a combiner can only do one action at a time. And you can't use a smart grabber here to have it complete all the actions, because you have to have the pasta with the water coming through here, and you also have to have the cooked pasta, 1 or 2, or an empty pot coming through here. So you can't use smart grabbers for this. I guess if anything, right here where this one is, you could put a counter or a freezer maybe. You could probably put a freezer there, but I mean, I don't know. You'd have to get really lucky for it to actually get into the freezer, you know? But otherwise, you have to use regular grabbers. Same thing with this. You couldn't really put a freezer here. You could rig this to have a freezer, but it's unlikely it's going to go in. But this is a pretty hefty, let's get out of this. It's a pretty hefty automation, but I am showing you that it is possible just with one little baby mod to empty the water. If not, you can't automate any of this stuff, basically. So there you go, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like as well as a comment. Would be much appreciated. And if you're enjoying these new videos, these new automations, or not, and enjoy other videos, hit that subscribe button, take the bell notification icon, and as always, catch you guys next time.